A full moon in Leo occurs on Saturday, January 26, 2013 at 8:39 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 11:39 p.m. Eastern Time, or 4:39 a.m. January 27th, Greenwich Mean Time. After the alignment party in the ambitious and innovative new moon in Capricorn, the sun now moves into the rebel camp of Aquarius in the philosophy of tropical astrology. Naturally, during the full moon, the moon rises as the sun sets because the moon is in conjunction or in alignment with the sun. The sun always conjoins the moon during the new moon and the full moon. What's the big difference? The big difference is during the new moon phase, the moon is in a superior conjunction, which is a technical term which means that the moon is located on the side of the earth closest to the sun. This causes the moon to rise and set with the sun, but the brilliance of the sun will prevent you from seeing the moon. On the other hand, during the full moon, the moon makes an inferior conjunction with the sun. This is just more technical talk that tells us that our moon is in alignment with the sun on the opposite side of the earth, furthest from our local star that we call the sun. In tropical astrology, this is why new moons are always in the same sign as the sun, because they rise and set together. Full moons are always in the opposite zodiac sign because the sun goes down as the moon rises. At this angle, the moon reflects the sun's rays off of the half of the surface angled towards the earth. What we see is the visible light bounce off the surface of the moon so that we can bathe in its luminosity here on Mother Earth. The full moon is a time for harvesting the fruits of our labors and intentions, while the wholeness of the circle reflects our own imperfections upon us to inspire growth and progress. This is a symbolic time of achievement and completion that grows out of the intentions we set for ourselves during the new moon. During the full moon in the vector equilibrium known as Leo the Lion, the moon is in the fire element or the tetrahedron opposite of the sun, which is currently in the air element of the octahedron under the sign of Aquarius. This is a great time to work towards bringing humanitarian issues that link us symbiotically to the forefront of society's consciousness. In contrast, the regal demands of Leo require that we work on the fulfillment of our personal goals in an effort to balance out our contributions to groups, organizations, and friendships. The lion is a symbol of valor, royalty, and protective power. The lion personifies the will, wisdom, and energy of the animal kingdom. Leo is directly associated with the sun and the first day of the week, Sunday. The sun is also associated with the heart, the ring finger, the solar plexus chakra, the strength card in the tarot, and time itself. In mythology, Leo the lion is closely associated with the Nemean lion, one of the 12 labors of Hercules. Leo is also associated with the watchful Egyptian moon goddess Bast or Bastet. Leo and Bastet can be associated to the right eye of Ra the Elder, which is often linked to Sekhmet the Destroyer in Egypt in much the same way that Kali has association with the creative forces of the sun and the destructive, transformative powers of Pluto in Eastern cultures such as India. Perhaps the most enigmatic part of the cosmic history of Leo should center around the Sphinx on the Giza Plateau. While many institutionally accepted theories assume that the Sphinx is somewhere between 2,500 and 5,000 years old, authors such as Robert Bauval, Anthony Browder, Graham Hancock, Dr. Robert Schoch also suggest a much older creation date. Whether you challenge the traditional wisdom or not, consider that today's time on the Gregorian calendar is kept in accordance with the prime meridian in Greenwich, England. This is the demarcation line or meridian that separates today from tomorrow in the Western world. This meridian also evenly divides our Earth into 15 degrees of distance that are exactly 1 hour. 15 times 24 equals 1 day or 1 turn of the Earth's axis. If you look at the model of what Stonehenge was supposed to look like before it fell into ruin, you get 15 stones inside the circle and 60 stones that make up its 360-degree perimeter. Authors such as Karl Monk point out that 360 times 60 equals 21,600, and this conveniently happens to match up with the 511042.35 latitude of Stonehenge. I dare you to go to Google Earth and check it out. I would instead ask that you focus on the fact that the stones actually are an amazing timekeeping device. As mentioned previously, 15 degrees is equal to 60 minutes. 60 divided by 15 equals 4. This means that our Earth rotates at 1 degree every 4 minutes. Now that your third eye is open, let's go forward. What if the real prime meridian is located at the Giza Plateau, not in Greenwich? After all, the location of the Great Pyramid is supposed to be in the exact center of all the land area of the world, dividing the Earth's landmass into approximately equal quarters or eighths according to some accounts. This location is about 31 degrees east of the prime meridian, or 2 hours. So was the Greenwich location a natural decision in sync with mathematics and time? Or was it a political decision based on colonialism and patriarchy? Considering that the longest meridians form east to west and north to south run through the pyramid complex, logic might dictate that this is not a coincidence. The Great Pyramid and Sphinx are also rumored to be a giant clock for when the Age of Aquarius starts, according to Oldenkamp. The Age of Leo is known as Zed Tepi, according to Bauval, because it is when the cycle of precession conjoins the 3 stars in the belt of Orion, aligning with the King's Chamber. And you thought Leo was just a party animal. Furthermore, the star of Isis, better known as Sirius, aligns with the Queen's Chamber and hints at an approximate date for the Age of Enlightenment ushered in by Deucalion, Noah, or our boy Aquarius. The mathematics of the 2.3 million stones placed with the precision of a clockmaker include phi and pi, along with the measurements of time itself broken down into square roots and radians. Perhaps this is why rumors of Atlantis always discuss the concentric circles at the Temple of Poseidon. Like Stonehenge gives its location with hints, the Great Pyramid also hints mathematically that its builders understood time and the speed of light in a vacuum. Alignments such as the ones on Giza line up with the obelisk in Paris, London, and Central Park in New York, in addition to its alignment with the Statue of Liberty, the Washington Monument, and oddly enough, even the Transamerica Pyramid in San Francisco and its 2 partners, the Golden Gate Bridge and the Bay Bridge. Do such associations of Leo and the Sun suggest a cosmic matrix built by a previous civilization? And if so, who were they? After all, Isis represents the silver gate of incarnation through Juno or Cancer, and Leo represents the golden gate of departure through the Sun, Aquarius, or Capricorn. Only the Bay Bridge is silver, the Golden Gate Bridge is red. Blood, anyone? And the Angel Island prison symbolizes the soul tethered to the corporeal reality that we call the third dimension. Meanwhile, do Coit Tower and the Transamerica Pyramid act like phallic talismans of the sacred masculine of creativity and birth to complement the Vesica Pisces ley lines of the sacred feminine symbolized by the moon? Consider that the Transamerica Pyramid is an 864 feet tall obelisk with its capstone. Is it another coincidence that the Sun is about 864,000 miles in diameter? If you take the math one step further, you will find that 86,400 seconds is the length of time it takes the Earth to rotate once each day on its axis. With such coincidences, one can easily see how the numbers of some of these key monuments may influence our perception of time. I wonder what would happen if we move the prime meridian back to Giza. I suppose we will only get to wonder. Leo is the fixed fire sign that occupies the 5th house of the zodiac ecliptic and is one of the original 48 zodiac constellations cataloged by Ptolemy. But the ceiling in the Temple of Dendera verified that the system of astrology was around way before Ptolemy was born. Negative Leo traits include pompous pride, being bossy, dogmatic, impatient, patronizing, interfering, intolerant, judgmental. Some of the more perfect attributes of the Leo includes the love of the limelight, being generous, broad-minded, courageous, passionate, creative and enthusiastic, warm-hearted, faithful and loving, expansive, and auspiciously assertive. Like the seed in the symbol representing the sun, Leo is the lovable luminescence of creativity where mind, body, and spirit dance in the joy of progress and action everywhere on Mother Earth. Leo's sunny combination of will meets personality underscores the reason why wondrous mysteries and mythologies persist about sun gods till this day. The sun god Apollo is depicted with the hours in this painting. In addition to driving the sun chariot across the sky, Apollo is also known as the leader of the Muses. While there are many depictions of sun gods and goddesses in various cultures in every time zone of the world, one of the most well-known sun gods is Horus. Horus, or Raharakti, Horus of the Two Horizons, hints at where we get the word horizon. There is also other associations of time when you examine his history a little deeper. In fact, if you look at the name of the solar deity Horus, you will notice that it is a clever anagram that can easily be decoded into the word hours.